Alright, there was a certain time in my life that I thought I had everything all figured out. From secondary school down to university, I thought I had my plans about what I would do after graduation. But it just happened that things didn't actually go the way I planned it out. And then I sought my creator to ask him that what's next for me. And then he told me one particular thing then, that I should conquer everyone with love. I should try as much as possible to keep assisting people, to keep helping people. And while doing that, I would get exact thing I'm supposed to do next. And that's why I want to introduce you today to what we are doing again at our Monday training. And before I continue, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, to whatever part you're joining us from. We know we have our people in the US, in Canada, in other African countries, and so this morning we are here at Adbond again to do our Monday training, and our topic is your network is your net worth. We had a part 1 last week, and this time around we'll be having the part 2. And we'll start with this quote that says, you can have everything in life if you will just help other people get what they want. You can have everything in life if you will just help other people get what they want. And this quote was given by Ziegler. Going back to the statement I started with, or to the explanation I started with, that there was a certain point I thought I had everything all planned out, but it wasn't just working. And I could realize that, when I listened to what my creator told me about continue helping people, I realized that it was during my helping people that I was able to connect, with one person, connect with another person, that actually put me back on track again. And this really validates the quote we have here today, that if you can have everything in life, and if you can just help others, in one way or the other, just keep assisting in a way you can, you realize that whatever you want, you would achieve it. So I'll go to the next thing. We had this last week. I want us to still ponder on this statement, and it says God wants each and every one of us to be preoccupied with the needs and desires of his children. Also, you can trace whatever successes or failures you have had in time past to the relationships in your life. Tons of research has shown that people with strong network, they tend to be happier, they tend to be healthier, they tend to be wealthier and more productive. And I showed through Carnegie Foundation that 15% of a person's success at work is determined by job knowledge and technical skills, while 85% is determined by a person's attitude and ability to relate with other people. Alright, so again, the big question is, you invest in many things. Do you invest in your relationship? How well have you been investing in your relationship? We talked about 5 different ways you can actually invest and grow your network last week. I'll just run through them. And one is access the barriers holding you back and develop a transformational attitude. Draw a roadmap on how to be a successful networker. Define your core passions with funnel test. Have a mindset of positive productivity, and then develop a give-get attitude. So I want to go give you more ways by which you can build your network, and I want to dwell more on this very particular test we talked about last week. It says define your core passions with funnel test. Define your core passions with funnel test. Alright, the funnel test is a test that encourages you to filter your actions through a funnel of passions and tone as a way to have more productive interactions. How did we get to this last week? We said most people have problems actually connecting with people. When it comes to networking, some people say that they are shy. Some people say they don't have what it takes to be part of it. I explained my own problem back then, that I had this inferiority complex amongst people that had money. I was in the midst of people that had a lot of money, and because I was born into a family that had a silver spoon, and along the way silver spoon was collected, was withdrawn, and I was given a bronze spoon. Things became so tough. And my own problem then was that I could not really relate to people. I could not really talk to people because I felt this inferiority complex thing was there. And while I was researching and getting to know about how to connect more about people, I realized this. I came across this funnel test by Porter Gale, and she is a test that she defined herself and found that it worked for her. And what she felt that could work for everybody is that we need to look out for things we're passionate about. If you're having problems connecting with people, if you're having problems networking, one major way of solving that problem is to try to sit down and get to know things you're passionate about. By the time you can state things you're passionate about, Find out where you want to be perceived by people out there, and then draw out a purpose statement. If you have all of this intact, it will be easy for you, to connect to people, out there. And I just want to explain this so we can get it. All right. This is the funnel test. She said identify 3 different areas you're passionate about. Try as much as possible. Think about it. Name it. So we have 3 circles. Get one area you're passionate about, another area you're passionate about, and then another area you're passionate about. And then, the sweet spot is what joins the 3 together. All right. And then the tone is how you want to be perceived out there. And then you draw us a purpose statement. I want to explain that with my own funnel test. So I called mine Steven funnel test. All right. If you look at this very well, I sat down and asked myself what are the things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about education. Anything that has to do with education, teaching, and making people better, I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about building relationships. I want to do everything I can, to help people get better, whether in marital relationship or interpersonal relationship. I just want to help. And then the next thing I'm so passionate about is I love to volunteer. I think all my life, in groups on WhatsApp, everywhere, all I try to do as much as possible is to volunteer, do my own bit. And then how do I want to be perceived? After I've written this area of my passions, how do I want to be seen out there? I want to be seen as inspirational. I want to be seen as, whenever I'm talking, there's something that is, there are dots that are connecting somewhere that can make you, move to the next level. And then my purpose statement, I wrote that to inspire and impact people around me to help it fulfill their God-given assignment. To inspire and impact people around me to help fulfill their God-given talent assignment. So when I was able to do this, I realized that connecting with people, going to different gatherings, it became easier for me, to do what? To relate with people, to talk with people out there. So if only we can try as much as possible, to get 3 different things. There are many things you could be passionate about, but from Portuguese test, limit it to 3. All right, write it down, and then look at how you want to be perceived. Is it that you want to perceive as a change agent? You want to be perceived as creative? Whatever way you want to be perceived, put it down there. And from all of this, create a purpose statement. It has been said that if you can link everything with your purpose and your passion, life can be a lot easier for you. So as well in networking. If you want to find networking a little bit more easier than it is, just try and do this and you will see things working out for you. Alright, so the next thing is more ways you can grow your network. Accelerate your connections with technology. Accelerate your connections with technology. Technology has increased virtual intimacy and reduced the degree of separation between connections. There was a man, Kevin Bacon, that did a research some time ago, and he said before the advent of social media, there used to be 6 degrees of connection, between everyone of us. But because of social media, alright, we all can find people that have common interests around us. You can easily find someone that shares, the kind of passion you share, the kind of purpose you share, the kind of interest you share. And because of that, our degree of connection has reduced from 6 degrees to what? To 4 degrees. And the way connection is going, like I said last week, there will be a certain time that even just within this area with your telephone, you can know those that have common interest than you, and then before you know, you start connecting with them easily. And so we have technology, we have social media, we have all of this just to help us with connection. At Adbond and Homes, what we do is, we are a sales company. We add value and then we get value back in return. So our people out there, to our eTeam members, one of the easiest ways to really get to connect in the age that we are in is to use your social media, your Facebook, your WhatsApp. I tell people that one of the ways I easily connect to my people is through WhatsApp. Commenting on a post, sharing posts, and doing all of that. It helps you to increase your connection. So use the technology we have nowadays that has reduced our degree of connection to make your networking better. The next thing is join and build a value-based team. Join and build a value-based team. One of the things we are proud of here at Adbond and Homes is that we support one another. When it comes to our team, we understand that some people are coming up, some people are better. We mingle together, and that assists us in getting better. And you realize that, you know, when you're having this value-based team, it increases your confidence, and when your confidence is increased, it's easier for you to connect to people out there. One of the major issues with people, you know, with connecting with people out there is diffidence. People lack confidence. But when you join a value-based team where your ideas and everything about you is being celebrated, before you know it, it increases your confidence. And when your confidence is increased, you can go to any networking events, you can go for events in your area of passion and interest, and you see yourself connecting with people, you know, easier than before. And problems can become opportunities when the right people come together. When the right people come together, you realize that problems, you know, keep coming together as opportunities, and you can easily move forward from there. The fourth one is cultivate relationships that support your purpose. Cultivate relationships that support your purpose. The way you treat people will have a dramatic impact on your ability to achieve your purpose. You know, one of the things I realized about this whole networking thing is you have to be very respectful and show love to people, you know, regardless of the position they have. The person that is your desktop officer in office today can be the CEO tomorrow. You don't know what everybody can turn to, you know. So at best, try as much as possible to cultivate good relationship with people, especially in your area of purpose. If you realize that someone, you know, is doing something that relates to your own purpose, why not do everything you can to help, you know, to help push that person forward? And if you're doing that, you are in return helping yourself. So try as much as possible. Look out for relationships that, you know, are in line with your purpose, and keep building in that aspect. And before you know it, you realize that talking with people, connecting with people out there will become a lot easier. The next one is develop partnerships to extend your search. Develop partnerships to extend your search. One of the things we talked about last week is that in your network, there are people that are very good at connecting with people. It comes very easily, you know, for them. Why not look out for those people? You know, Portage will call them up players. These are people that can, you know, they can attend any event, you know, 5-star, 7-star event, and before you know it, they are talking to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. You know, because of what we do here at Adbond, it's all about, you know, giving value out there. If you don't know anybody out there that you can talk to, how do you give the value? So you have to look out for people that are good in your network, with meeting people, with talking with people. Partner with them in different aspects. In your area of purpose as well, look out for people that, you know, that are doing things in that area, and then what happens? Partner with them, and before you know it, you realize that it becomes easy for you to start connecting and networking. Then the next thing is learn to make successful asks. Learn to make successful asks. Okay, so this is all about asking questions. All right, I can remember there was a training we had by one of our people here. You know, she talked about, you know, how asking questions can really help us to become better. You know, so for this very networking as well, your network is your net worth. You have to learn to ask questions from people that are way better than you. Never be shy, you know, and, you know, don't see yourself as small. Don't limit yourself, no matter the inferiority complex. Feel free to meet someone. You know, you see someone doing something better than you are in your area of purpose, or even in this area of network. Why not walk up to the person, ask questions that how are they doing it, that, you know, they are getting results. And if you keep asking questions, you realize that, you know, just like I said last week, that, you know, the number one major way of solving scientific problems is to ask questions. When you ask questions, then you realize that solving other problems becomes easier for you. So let us learn to make successful asks. And recommendations, you know, because I'm trying to be very fast with the training. Number one thing I would say is be authentic. Follow your passion, nurture relationships, and use technology to improve and accelerate your connections. Now, the first thing there is be authentic, be real. You know, don't, for whoever you are, you know, try as much as possible to come the way you are. Whenever you are with people, whenever you are, you know, with yourself, try as much as possible to be real. You know, don't form what you're not. Whatever problems you are having, try as much as possible to state them down. You know, we said check out whatever barrier that is affecting you in connecting with people. Write it down, you know, and start putting positive statements down, positive affirmations. Don't look at yourself as, you know, someone that cannot contribute, that is not better. You know, change those statements, you know, to positive, statements, and become real and follow your passions. Try as much as possible to try the funnel test out. Write out 3 different areas you're passionate about, and try as much as possible to follow your passion. And then nurture relationships. For whatever thing you want to achieve, you cannot achieve it alone. You need people to achieve it. You need people around you to achieve that purpose. So you need to nurture relationships. Relationships in school, wherever you find yourself, at a place of work. Relationship with low people around you. People that the gates man and all of that. Nurture relationships. Just be good to people, and then use the technology that we have. Your YouTube, your Facebook, your WhatsApp. Use it to improve your networking and your relationship. The next thing is create content, product or services to share your purpose. Be a producer and not just a consumer. I can remember I heard this some time ago, that the strategic value of God's blessing is higher in production than in consumption. All right, what is that trying to say? As much as you have discovered your purpose, you have written down your areas of interest, try as much as possible to see what you can create out of that purpose to bless people out there. Don't just be thinking of what you can get, what you can get, what you can get. Last week we talked about give, get. So as much as possible, when you have written down your areas of the things you're passionate about and you've written out your purpose statement, try as much as possible to see what you can bring out of all of this to bless our world. The Almighty God that created each and every one of us created us to come and do something here on planet, and nobody is a waste. So always introspect, meditate when you wake up in the morning. Think about what you can do out of your purpose, to bless your generation. And you will realize that when you start producing, the rate at which God blesses you doubles, it increases, because you are now adding, you are now blessing, you are now preoccupied with the needs of His people out there. So closing quote says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. It's an African proverb. If you want to go far, so go fast rather, go alone. It's possible that you go fast and you don't achieve anything. You can go very fast and then, and then at the end of the day, you don't get to where you're going, just because you think you can do it alone. But if you really want to go far in life, you need relationship. If you really want to build your network, if you really want to become something, you need the people all around you. God did not create any one of us to achieve anything alone. If you look at Adbond, we have co-founders, and then we have people working at different levels. It's not just one person being the coordinator, being the co-founder, being the sales executive. It's not just one person taking people to sites. It has to be a group of people coming together. So if you're going to achieve your purpose as well, you need people. You need people around you. So please do well to nurture relationships, be kind to people, show love to people out there, conquer and win people with love. And before you know, you see that your network, will start yielding good results. So thank you for joining us today. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, kindly do that in our comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our page. Thank you for joining us.